Okay, here's my 2001 GS430 Lexus. I recently changed out my alternator and my battery, but when I got in the car ran, but when I got into it, I noticed that my lights weren't working, my power, nothing electrically inside the car was working. So I pulled out my manual and I started checking some of the fuses, and there's a fuse box located right on the passenger side, right underneath the kicker pan right there, and there's one also on the driver's side down below there. There was a few blown fuses in there that I changed, but the main fuse, which was causing all the issues where I couldn't put my car in gear, and my windows and doors wasn't working, is this 120 amp alternator fuse right here. Let me try to focus up. It's blown, so it's in this fuse box right here. Now there's no instructions of how to actually change it. It's actually bolted down with 2 screws. There's 3 10mm screws that I took off, and I really didn't have to take them off. I mean, as I look at it now, it's good that I did for leverage. So before I started doing anything fuse wise, I disconnected my battery, my brand new battery. And this fuse box is just some plastic tabs here that I pretty much mangled just to get this raised up enough to take this off, this 120 amp fuse, which is bolted down by a couple of screws. Now I'm gonna put this back. I went and got a new fuse that I'm gonna put back in, and let's see if this thing starts and I'll get my power back. Now that's the new fuse that I just put in. You can see that's one bolt on the left side. That's a 10mm bolt. I didn't put the left side on yet. The right side, excuse me. See? Now I'm gonna put that one on. Now the left side was a 10mm bolt, and the right side, let me try to focus up. The right side was 5/16. That's kind of weird, but anyways, yeah. So I got the new fuse in. Now I'm gonna start putting everything back together. There's also this 10mm grounding bolt here that I removed this bracket from, that I'm just gonna replace now. Get that all back together. Excuse my one hand. There it is. That's back. Let's get that back tightened up. Now you can see I mangled this thing, but that's pretty much the areas where, you gotta pry out the plastic tabs with a flathead screwdriver just to gain access to that 120 amp fuse that the alternator is attached to. So now that that's back, all I have to do is put my bolt back here, there, and down over here. Got the bolt back on. Now let's put the battery back on. Even though I mangled the plastic on the fuse box, once you get the cover back on, can't really tell. Plus, nobody's gonna see this anyways. It's underneath the hood, so who cares about that? Now let's see if this car starts. Okay, keys in the ignition. You can hear the door alarm ringing off. Dome lights are on. Now, the dome lights were affected by another fuse that was located underneath the passenger side fuse panel. Let's see if the door's locked. Yep, you can hear him. Close the door. See if it starts. There we go. Lights back on. Another issue I was having was I couldn't put the car in gear. Let's put my foot on the brake. Let's see if we can put it in gear now. There we go. Everything's back. So if you're having issues and you think it's your alternator or your battery, most likely it could be your fuse. So that's how you change out your 120 amp alternator fuse. Thank you. Take care.